To Code into Christmas Challenge 12. Today we're going to utilize your knowledge of lists, dictionaries, nested collections, and for loops to create a Christmas toy catalogue. So the challenge was create a Christmas toy catalogue with 5 items. The hint was your catalogue will be a list, and each item within it is a dictionary. Each item in the catalogue should have the name of the item, the price, and if it's on offer. We need to make at least one item on offer, and we need to print out the entire catalogue and print out the name and price of the items on offer. Okay, so to start, I'm going to create a list called Toy Catalogue, and I'll make that an empty list. And now within my list, I will be creating a dictionary for each item. So if I'm creating a dictionary, I need to use my curly brackets. So the first key I'm going to have is name. You put a colon in the middle and then its value. So my first item will be a Rubik's Cube. For each item in your dictionary, you have to separate it with a comma at the end. Next is price, and that is $8.99. And as you can see, my values can be floats, integers, or strings, or even booleans, which we'll use for our last key, which is offer, and I will put that as true. So now I've written this code, I can just copy it and paste it for each one. But again, to separate each dictionary within my list, I have to use commas. So just make sure all your brackets line up. So my next toy is going to be a Tamagotchi. That is going to be $9.99 and it's going to be on offer. My next toy will be a hula hoop. That comes in at $4.99 and this one is not going to be on offer, so I'll put false. My next item will be another old school one. We're going to have a Furby at $12.99. That is not on offer. And our last toy in our catalogue is going to be a Lego set at $19.99, and this also will not be on offer. So now that I've written them all, I am going to print out my catalogue. So I will print toy catalogue. And if I just make my screen a bit smaller, you can see that at the right hand side, you can see that it's all just printed out on one line. So the way we can change that is, from what you learnt yesterday, we're going to have to first loop into the list. So we'll do for toys in toy catalogue. So I'll just move my screen up a bit so you can see that code. So for toys in toy catalogue, so that is going to now get me into here, but I now need to get into each one of these. So to do that, I need another for loop, so a for loop within a for loop. So for this I'll put for key in toy, so that'll let me now get the key of each toy. So for key in toys, I'm going to print out the key. So if we start with that, we can get rid of this previous one because we don't need it anymore. So I can see there now I am getting the key for each of the toys. But I also want to know not just their name, price, and offer. I want to know what the actual value is. So to do that, I need to print out also, and I'm going to put a little equals, a little colon, so it's easier to see them separated. And then I'm going to add the value for each key. So to do that, I go into each one and I'm printing out the key. But because some of these keys are integers, this shouldn't work. So as you can see, as you can see that we have a string and a float. It's not letting me concatenate it. So to rectify that, I just need to cast it to a string. If I run that, you can now see on the right, I have each of my toys and each of the values that go with it. So we've printed out the entire catalogue. So now we need to print out the name and price of the items in the offer. Okay, so to do that, we need again to go into our toy catalogue. So we're looping in, and now we're checking if for each toy the offer is equal to true, then we want to print the name and we also want to print the price. And if we run that, you can see now at the bottom that our Rubik's Cube and our Tamagotchi have printed out. So just a little tip. So if you're just saying if toys offer, the computer reads that as saying the exact same thing as if toys offer equals true. So what I can do just to separate the code a little bit is type out print toys on offer, and above here I can print toy catalogue. Now if I run them, you can see it separates it a little bit. We can add a new line at each of them just to separate it a little bit more. And you could also, if you wanted to see what toys were not on offer, you could also check which had the Boolean value of false. So you can run that and you get the same thing. So that was today's challenge. So we created a list. Inside that list, we created 5 dictionaries. So it just shows you ways that you can hold your bits of data within other collections. Then we printed out the entire catalogue, but then we also went through and printed the key and value for each one. And lastly, we separated out the toys that were on offer and then not on offer. So that is today's challenge. Tune in tomorrow for challenge 13 with Jake.